the outcome.
Yeah, your film has a really unique style. Can you tell us how you came up with that?
Just using what I had. This was all done on the computer. I've used those graphics before, just a few of them, and that was just really me just using what I had. Like I said, I wanted to do the film by any means necessary, and I just used the graphics that were on my computer. And the pictures that you saw were, that was me. It was very therapeutic for me. That was me trying to remain calm in stressful situations and just walk around and just experiencing God's nature. And those are the pictures that I took on my cell phone.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. I thought it was a really interesting switch between the style that you had with those images and then like real pictures of nature.
Yes?
Did you take the pictures from your window or did you go outside?
I was outside walking using my cell phone. Thank you for the question.
Are there any other questions?
No.
Yes.
Hi, Anthony Crumpler, aka the host who does the most with like 96 on YouTube.
Okay.
That being said, what I enjoyed the most about your documentary was literally the inspiration that it took from it. How you went from going about from a various family member, someone who's also lost a family member. No. The pandemic. Aside from that, what I want to know is this: what would your vision initially entail had the pandemic not kicked in? Because it's always like a what-if scenario. You know,
Right.
As a fellow video editor myself, I also see in that situation. After all, sometimes your most hated video will become like a very popular one. It's no different for like a musician who makes like a famous song and everything.
So what would I have done if it had not been this?
If it had not been this, yes.
Thank you for the question. Nobody has ever asked me that. So my brother was killed in 2018, and it was very hard. I'm still trying to deal with it.
Clearly.
And I really was trying to figure out a way to deal with my pain, and the documentary was supposed to be about my brother. So I could not I tried Zoom, I tried to get my dad on Zoom with my brother and my sister, and I felt really alone in my pain. So I just wanted to really do the documentary about my brother. I don't even know if my husband knows. And so it was a struggle, it was not working out. So I didn't know what to do with that pain, and so I just said, at this point now I just have to turn it on to myself and what I'm feeling, what I'm expressing, and this is what I did. Thank you so much for that question.
No problem.
Anything else?
So how long did it take for you to make this?
I believe it took about 3 months. I started in March, and I had a deadline because I was going to enter it in a festival, and I completed it in May. So it was just doing a little bit every day. That was the goal, just to make sure, because I wasn't sure. It was just me just learning as I was going along. I wasn't sure what it was going to look like in the end, but I knew that I wanted to do a little bit every single day because I was afraid if I stopped, then I would lose momentum. So I encourage anybody that starts a project, just do a little bit every single day.
So did you say that this was your first film?
Oh, absolutely.
So what was it like making this the first time? Did you have to like learn as you were going?
Definitely. I've always enjoyed being on the computer, and which was definitely a lot easier to do during the pandemic. So yeah, and then I struggled after I finished this with even calling myself a filmmaker, because again, it was just, I wasn't sure what you call this. I was like, because I didn't feel like it should be called an animated film, because I saw just, for example, the beautiful animations that you had, and it wasn't like the other stuff that I've seen before. I was like, what do you call this? So even as I was entering film festivals, I did suffer from, and a little bit right now as well, imposter syndrome, a filmmaker. Yes.
How did you get the idea?
Just basically just wanting to figure out a way to express my own emotions. And I knew that I don't like, this is also interesting for me, I don't like putting my face out there on films. and being in front of the camera. So I was trying to figure out a way of how to do this documentary without me actually being on it and being able to express myself. And I pray to God, I talk to him about everything, and this is what we, God, came up with. Yes.
Why did you call your film A Piece of God?
Because that is, and thank you for that question, that is how I felt when I was going for my walks. It was very stressful. Do all of you remember the pandemic?
Yeah.
So it was very scary, and we were home. I just dealing with the family and being alone and wondering if we're going to die. The anxiety was really, really high. So I found peace in just going out for a walk and seeing all of the beautiful things that God has created. The beautiful trees, the water. I love doing that. Just how calm the water is. It's very peaceful. The beautiful shades in the sky, the shades of blue, the clouds. I love that to this day. Matter of fact, when we flew in on the plane, I just love looking out the window and seeing the different clouds, and they're not all the same. Some of them are nice, big cotton balls, and then you get little wisps of clouds, and they lie flat. And I was just sitting there looking out like, God, you were so awesome. I just love this. He is the greatest artist in the world. So I just really, truly love seeing what God has done every single day.
Do you also do other art forms apart from this? Are you an
I'm
artist?
sorry?
Are you also an artist of other forms?
I feel like I was born an artist. I do different things. I do, this was the film that I've done. I do love to draw. I do love to do different things, but being on the computer is definitely one of my favorite things. Yes.
So what was your biggest learning doing the film for the first time? What was it? What would you advise like somebody doing it for the first time?
I would say do things no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're afraid, just do it. And especially during the pandemic, there were a lot of people that did different projects, and it feels good just to saying that you've done it. So I had just such a tremendous feeling of accomplishment after I turned it in. It was stressful trying to meet that deadline because of course with technology, as much as I love technology, for whatever reason, the minute you have a deadline, everything goes wrong. So there were things that were happening, even though the film was complete, that I was just struggling with, whether it was the Wi-Fi, trying to upload. It was a mess, but